Hi, my name is Chef Chileshim Sunda and welcome to yet another exciting online program class. And to introduce the topic of line that we are looking at today is twisted donuts. So for twisted donut, we need a few ingredients that we need for this particular recipe. And those ingredients include 500 grams of flour, which is equivalent to 2 cups. We need 1 cup of water, which is room temperature, which is 200 ml of water. We need 2 teaspoons of cooking oil. We're also going to need 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of yeast, which is instant yeast in particular. We need 1 egg for this particular recipe. So we're going to go to our work surface area and see what we have in store for this particular twisted donut. Onto our working surface, like I said, you need 1 egg, you need yeast, you need cooking oil, you need sugar, water, flour, and of course your utensils that you're going to use for this particular production. So we go straight into production. Our usual measuring cup, we're going to measure the flour, and through the sieve we're going to sieve the flour so that we get rid of any of those foreign particles or particles coming from our storage point. Okay, so as I was always mentioned, when you're measuring flour, you always make sure that your flour is leveled. So this is leveled, and that's 1 cup. For this recipe, we require 2 cups, which is equivalent to 500 grams. And there we have it. That's our 2nd cup of flour. We're going to go ahead and sieve the flour into a separate dish. Okay, in our separate mixing dish, we sieve the flour. Okay, the next ingredient that we have here is yeast. So for yeast, we are going to require 1 tablespoon of instant yeast, of course, as well. This is supposed to be leveled. So instant yeast, and that's 1 tablespoon of instant yeast. The next ingredient we have is sugar. So sugar, we're going to need as well 1 tablespoon of sugar. The next ingredient on the list is the wet ingredient, and before we add any wet ingredients, we're going to make sure that we mix all our dry ingredients together well. So as soon as the dry ingredients are mixed, we are going to add the wet ingredients to the mixture. And the wet ingredients include cooking oil, 1 egg, and water. So first and foremost, I start with the cooking oil. So for cooking oil, we're going to need 2 teaspoons of cooking oil. So that's 2 teaspoons of cooking oil, just to make sure it's even. So after the 2 teaspoons of cooking oil, we're going to get the egg. So we require 1 whole egg for this particular recipe. 1 whole egg. So that's our 1 whole egg into the mixture. Then again, at this point, we're going to break the egg yolk, mix it in to the dry ingredients. Looking back to our recipe, we're going to notice that we require water, and that's 1 cup of room temperature water. So we're going to measure our water, and that is 1 cup of room temperature water. I'm going to put the water there, 1/2 cup, and leave the rest for the final mixing process. Start the mixing. I've also proofed my oven just to use it as a proofer for my rising. At this point, I put the last bunch of water and I go hands-on with the dusted hands to make sure it fully mixes. it becomes sticky, onto your flour with a sieve, add a bit of dusting flour, dust it on, just so the mixing can become easier. So the initial 2 cups plus a little bit more for dusting to make the mixing process easier. Okay, this has eased up our mixing process. Right, so as soon as the dough comes together, it's necessary for you to get rid of your mixing dish. You can come back to your well sanitized surface. Dust your hands a little bit so that the flour doesn't stick on. Makes it easy for you to mix the dough. Begin to mix the dough onto the surface. The moment it becomes sticky, I dust my hands again and continue to mix until you come up with a very smooth dough. So I'm going around in circles using my palm to mix the dough. That's a fine dough, well mixed, not sticking, as you can see. So we're going to rest this for a minute, then continue the mixing process. So the dough has rested for a minute. Now it's ready to continue the mixing process. Right. Mix it a little bit more. Remember, we are doing twisted donuts. So we set aside the dough, cut it into even sizes. Okay, as soon as you cut it into those even sizes, one at a time, roll them into round. After the smooth rounds have been rolled out, you're going to stretch it. After stretching, then you're going to twist the donut, and the twisting goes like this. And there you have it. That is your twisted donut. After twisting, this donut comes to your oven tray. And that oven tray that you're putting your donuts on also has to be greased with oil. So I apply some oil to the pan and nicely grease it. Remember, you're going to rise from here, so you want to make sure that this tray is nicely greased. So that's our first set. Onto the tray. I go on and on with the rest of the dough. After the round, stretch it, So you stretch it and you twist it. So you make a round. And stretch it. Stretch it, then you twist it. Round, stretch, and finally you twist. Rounds. So these are double the size of what we had rolled out for twisted donuts. At this moment now we can heat up the oil and we can fry them at very high heat. Our oil is hot and our twisted donuts are ready. So I pick one at a time, gently into the frying pan. Turn them over. Want them to cook on both sides, golden brown, then they are ready for that nice display. Okay, so nicely cooking and turning over time and at a time so that they cook both in the inside and the outside. The moment you see the bubbling around the donut is lace, you know that the inside is also well cooked. So this bunch is ready. We're going to do the last bunch and we are good to go for that presentation. Out into a draining colander just so they can drain off the excess oil. Our last two pieces and we are good to go. Okay, and there you have it. Our nice twisted donuts are ready, and that has been our session for our twisted donuts. And when you look at the insides of the donut, well cooked, nice and fluffy. The tastes, point. Try out this recipe and see how it fares up. If you need to put more sugar, that's up to you, but I love my donuts just this way. Thank you, and join us for another session.